Yeah. The new plan is no plan.
Right.
We're going to talk about what's relevant going on in the loop currently.
Okay. So you have this idea that we're going to amp these things up because we were doing one a month for a little while. Then we hit a snag with some technical difficulties, and then we hit a holiday snag, which is totally understandable. And so now we're back
Now
in
we're back.
January, and you're
Now we're
what?
back in January
I
with an
bet we
all new strategy
yeah
and
we
plan.
spent the first 2 weeks of the year on the road,
That's right.
traveling, making heroes, and now you're like, hey, new plan. We're going to record every week, which of course we won't be able to do. We have to be able to do it outside of the studio too. Because
Oh, I
like
agree with that.
literally the last 2 weeks
100%.
have been on the road 100%. So I haven't been in this office at all.
Yeah, we talked to Danielle, our person that makes this all possible. And yeah, we agree. We got to be able to do it, not here all of the time.
Easier. Just
Easier.
hit the record button.
So some of that might be online, like we're doing it online, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Oh man, I hate those.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting though.
Another Teams meeting, huh?
Another wow, better than a Teams meeting. It'll be better.
You got an iPhone. I've seen all the commercials. They record like amazing video. This film was recorded with an iPhone. So how come we can't do that?
That's the plan.
Well, yeah, that's better than a Teams call.
Well, okay.
Super lame.
Well, we might have a Teams call.
Oh, yeah, we
what
could.
What if we want to have somebody else join the party?
I know. We can do that.
So-
I shouldn't have called it lame.
Yeah, it's not lame. It'll be exciting, and it's new. New plan for the new year. Like, that's how you can frame that, right? New plan, new year.
No plan.
No plan for the new year.
That's right.
Except the plan is to not plan.
Plan less. You can't not plan at all. That's terrible. Plan less.
Yeah, okay. So that's
We're in the engineering industry, Blake. They used to plan everything. You know that, right? Put it on a schedule. It's got to be perfect.
Yeah, I know. It's got to be perfect. No, we're not doing that. So the idea, like I was saying a minute ago, the idea here is that it will be relevant conversations to what is going on in our industry and possibly just what is going on in our communities in the world.
Oh,
right?
yeah. We're going to get into some politics and current events.
We're going to get into current events. We're going to get into all that. We're going to try to keep it industry focused, though. And that's the whole point of what is In the Loop. So it's about In the Loop. And we're going to do it on a cadence of a weekly basis. So every Friday, we're going to publish a new episode of the podcast. And so that's what we're going to shoot for. That's what we're going to strive for.
Great. And you were asking earlier what's going on.
Yeah, so what's going on now? So I know next week, or in a couple weeks, not next week, but in a couple weeks, you're going to be in Florida at the, what is it again? The ARC conference?
ARC Forum.
ARC Forum.
ARC.
And what the hell is that about?
Well, they're an advisory consulting service some type. They research industry trends and provide that research to companies to make their decisions. I believe I'm still getting up to speed with it. I mean, I had a conversation with them yesterday. We touched a little bit about CFOS because they're trying to determine a perspective on that. Talked a little bit about DexB. Talked a little bit about open process automation. So I don't know their full business yet, but we are collaborating with them on some of these industry.
So this conference isn't specifically around like one group of vendors or anything like that. It's just like an open forum discussion around those topics?
Well, truthfully, this is the first time we're attending this forum, but the roots of it are around the control system industry, I believe, and that has expanded to engineering projects, digital twins, AI, all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's an industry vendor agnostic conference to talk about these important trends that are happening in the industry and how that's going to shape, decisions that are made.
Well, that sounds exciting. Who's all going to this conference? Do you know? Who do you think's going to be there? Any relevant vendors? relevant owner operators or EPCs or?
I glanced at the logo list a little bit. I mean, your major engineering software companies, I believe, will have a presence like Hexagon and Autodesk and Aviva, and um, control system vendors like Honeywell and Emerson, I would imagine, are going to be there. And then, to be honest with you, beyond that, I'm not exactly certain of the attendees just yet.
Oh, okay. So you're not certain if any of the owners are going to be there or any of the EPCs around here?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to go. You know, you spring this on me with no plan, right? And I'm not exactly sure. I would imagine. So
What do you imagine?
owner
then?
operators will be
You're gonna
there.
have a conference? No owners, no EPCs, just vendors. That
Well,
sounds like a terrible conference.
The owner operators, or the end user, as some people will label them,
End users
are critical to the industry because they're the ones with the assets that everyone wants to help improve and do work on. And so ultimately, they've got the material that these technologies are going to be applied to.
Okay.
Correct? So, yes, there will be a presence, surely, from owner operators in that sense. I'm sure there will be some engineering companies who are attempting to do work that fits in with the important trends of the industry to suit the needs of the owner operator, and some consultants like us who are helping to stitch all that together.
Oh man, that sounds exciting. How long is this conference? Like a day, 3 days, 5 days, a week?
This is one of those Monday to Thursday type situations.
Okay. You expecting to have like presentations from people and whatnot, technical presentations, right? Or are they mostly like technical discussions that will be going on?
I think there will be case studies and
Case studies.
presentations on people's successes and failures and whatnot. My hope is that we, are presenting at this next year. Typically, when we go to a conference, our goal is to be a presenter and be able to contribute and drive some of the content. But in this instance, we're going more to survey the situation.
What
and
are you trying to get out of this conference as far as like technical like understanding of the industry? Like what do you think you'll be able to get out of it?
Well, the number one reason is to meet people face to face and see if their needs match up with what our offerings are, but also the in general trying to understand what are the latest results of people's attempts at innovation and the latest trends and the positive things that are happening in the industry. I think we have a responsibility to carry that knowledge with us as we try to solve problems. So, any opportunity to learn and hear from people on the ground what's working and what they want to see moving forward, I think is important as we bring that forward into future conversations and
Yeah, I'm really
opportunities.
interested. I would want to hear. I really want to hear like how people are using AI in their day-to-day operations. I don't know if that will be necessarily discussed at this conference, but how does that apply?
Can you have a conference in 2026 that
Not
doesn't have
discuss it.
AI in the title?
Well, no, apparently,
No, you can't.
because it's kind of like a buzzword. What I would like to understand, and maybe at this conference because it's a little bit more agnostic, but how is it actually being applied in specific operations and maintenance aspects? How is it being applied in automation? How is it being applied through our industry? And I don't know. You said they'll have case studies. Are they going to have like in those case studies? I'm assuming there might be some real world examples around that, right?
I'm assuming so.
How's
but
it applied in the digital twin?
But I'll be honest
Like-
with you.
Like, what are they doing with it?
Yeah,
I hear a lot about it. Like, hey, we're using AI in our digital twin from different vendors or different software providers. Well, that's great. How are you doing that? That's the questions I got.
Okay, well, think back in the past to your previous conferences. What relevant use cases have you been presented to this point?
Any previous conference? I mean, there's some that are better than others. But a lot of conferences sometimes they don't really talk about actual like real world examples, and that's kind of what I'm looking.
I was referencing that to the AI conversation. It's
Yeah.
been a popular topic for a good while now.
What I
And
hear is hey, AI can help, which I agree with. We're doing some examples on some of the work that we're doing, and some of the work that I've done. AI can help. Okay, but how can it help? What is it? If you tell me AI is going to come in and solve all my problems, I don't actually believe that. If you're telling me I can use it to make my teams more efficient in some of the work that they do, I believe that. But then the question is okay, well, where are those points of efficiency that it could benefit them in their process?
so,
right?
see, my problem with the word how is how allows you to just say generically, this is how. I'm more interested in, I think where you were going with that is the what and the where.
Okay.
Have you
yeah.
used the
What and where have you actually done it?
the
Yeah.
how?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Okay,
Can
that
do
makes
all
more
these
sense,
things,
right?
but what are you really doing
What
with
are you
it?
really doing?
Well, I've tested that. The
Yeah,
test
a lot of times I
the
hear
test
that,
was
right?
really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you trust it yet for that? I don't know.
Yeah, a
Some
lot of
in some
times what I hear
instances,
is
yes.
they've tested it or they've done a POC, right? Like a proof of concept. They're like, okay, well, that's great. Have you done
Where is that in production?
where is it in production?
Where is there a T2000,
Yeah.
T1000 that's out there
So that's
doing?
kind of what I'm looking for
doing it.
in this art conference is the understanding or see if I can find examples of that. Like, okay, we're going to talk about it. Where is it at? Like, show it. Are you hopeful? What's your hopeful level of finding that information out right now?
I'm still on the side where it'll be mostly
High level.
high level, I would expect. I mean, if
Okay.
I'm being honest, value certainly possible there. But it's like when you learn to write code, you learn to be a coder. It's like, oh, that's a whole new skill, right? Now, something that I would have done completely manually, I wrote a code or script to do. And that's really neat, except it's rigid, right? And in theory, AI is that, except not rigid. It can sort of figure it out on its own. You just give it a general context, right? So instead of
Yeah.
writing that script file that you would have written 20 years ago, now you just say, okay, this is what I want you to do. And the question I'm having is at the end of the day, how much of that is going to feel like just a better executed script? And how much of it is going to feel like a totally different world?
Ooh, are you excited about this conference?
Sure, yeah.
You seem super excited. You're like a
Well-
straight up engineer. Like I show no emotion.
Travel is two-sided, right? It's interesting and new stuff, but it's travel.
Where is this conference at?
Orlando.
Florida.
Yeah.
At least it'd be warm down there. It's even cold right now for the Houston area.
I know, so I got this jacket on.
Okay. So good. You're excited about the conference. You think it's going to be beneficial. Think you get some good information and data out of it.
Yeah, ARC Forum in Orlando. So you've been on the road lately, and you've been doing your road trips in a Tesla. And,
Oh, we should talk about that.
and
I can tell you all about my experience in Tesla world. I got deeply immersed into it.
yeah, and I mean I have the debate. So I can fill up my truck, and it says I can go like 550 miles, which I like, but I have to drive those miles, of course, and I have to pay for the fill up. But what was the most recent? About 10 hours to in the last road trip with
Well,
Tesla.
we went all the way up to Wichita, so yeah, that's about 10 hours, and then we went all the way over to Lawrence to watch the game, which was amazing. Never done that before.
Yeah,
First KU game for all the KU fans out there.
yeah,
Which was awesome.
yeah.
And
So
they won on top of that, which made it even better.
so how many stops does it take to do that road trip? Like compare that road trip to just
Four
filling up with gas and just taking a ride.
Took 4 stops to get up to Wichita, 4 stops back, and then 2 to get over to Lawrence, right? Um,
4 stops. So
so you're like 10, 15 minutes a stop on average.
Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah, I
and
try to
then-
time all of those stops to get food. So it's better because it makes the trip more enjoyable, but also fattening. So you eat a lot more.
But it's
Like,
about
my first stop is going to be at a bakery, and then my next stop is going to be at like a Chick-fil-A or somewhere to get lunch, and then the next one's going to be at like somewhere to get ice cream.
they're all food stops. Though,
Right?
right?
Yeah, they're all food stops.
Now the
I don't care about the fuel stops anymore. It's like, hey,
Now-
is that charger near somewhere where I can grab me some food?
Now, what's interesting? Couple things here. So what's interesting is a lot of the bad stories from the whole EV road trip concept that you may read on the internet generally have to do with towing something. Those go particularly poorly because of the extra capacity. But just in the Model Y,
Yeah,
is that
it's
what you're talking
Model
about? Little sedan. So in that thing, you're talking about going about 2 hours between stops.
Y. Yeah, about 2 hours. Yeah, between stops.
Okay.
So not terrible.
Yeah, because it's the last week I had to go to.
That's about like good though, right? Like 2 hours, you stop, you stretch your legs, you go to the bathroom, you get some great food, you get back in, you're ready to go,
Yeah.
right?
Last week I had to go to Baton Rouge, and I literally drove from my house through Houston all the way to Baton Rouge, and then turned around
In one go,
without filling up.
without
turned
stopping.
around,
You never stopped. You just drove like 7 hours straight.
stopped for food, but it never got gas.
Okay, but
I'm saying
okay,
on
so
the
you still stopped though, right? Even
Stop.
though you didn't get gas, you still stopped.
went
Yeah.
through a drive-through or whatever. I'm just saying like the difference there. Don't get me wrong. I like the concept, like it's the EV or whatever. It's just the contrast of those two situations. A little bit of contrast. It still worked
Oh,
out.
yeah,
I still
yeah.
stop. It's just interesting because
The best
literally I
part
didn't
about
have to
it-
get anything till I was on the way back.
Yeah,
so,
see, you're missing the best part.
yeah,
The best part is I didn't drive at all.
yeah,
It drove me the whole way.
yeah.
I watched movies. Probably not supposed to do that. Disclaimer, don't do that. I didn't do that. It's a lie. But I didn't drive. It drove me all the way up there. Even parked in the parking spots for me. Go to a little charger, finds a spot, parks in there. I just get out and plug it in, go get me some food and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
worked
the
out great.
reason that I mean self-drive is
Don't have to deal with the traffic or road construction or any of that.
so hold on. So Tesla is just leading the way in the self-drive concept period. It just so happens that they only did it in electric vehicles and those are easier to control because acceleration and braking is easier to manage, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, he
would
could
say
apply
that.
this to a gas
You
vehicle if
can,
he wanted to.
and Ford, the different manufacturers out there. Ford has Blue Cruise, right? And that's a variant of their full self-drive on just regular, like a Ford Expedition. You get Blue Cruise. GM has, oh man, I forget what it's called. It's like, I think it's just called GM Cruise or something like that. I don't know, but it's a variant as well. But the problem with that is they only work on specific roads, and they only work like at certain specific times, right? The roads have to be digitally mapped out. They have to be ingrained into the software of the system to be able to work. Issue with that is if you map out I-10 and then they do a bunch of construction and move you 4 lanes over, like a temporary lanes. Well, it doesn't have that.
Okay.
So it can't handle that very well, right?
Yeah.
Tesla, it doesn't do any of that. It doesn't use
All cameras.
all cameras and AI. It's literally an AI robot that's driving your car. Just cameras and AI. There is
Yeah.
no pre-mapping of the designated roads that it can do it on. It does it everywhere. Straight cameras and AI. It drove down. So like in my place, I live way out in the country. on a dirt road, unmarked dirt road. They drove down my dirt road.
So what?
Doesn't even care.
So what if you had the choice of buying? Because you like the full self drive. Even I mean the battery idea is fine, but you didn't even buy it really for the battery concept, did you? Bought it more for. I mean, okay, it has better acceleration.
I did buy it for the electric concept. I got to be honest. So the whole reason is that I went down this electrification route. Is I drive a lot. I drive like 36,000 miles a year, roughly, 30 to 36,000. Right. That's part of our job. We're in business development. Right. I got to go visit clients. In project execution, I got to go visit clients. I come to the office every day, right? Because I'm a person that likes to be in the office. So 3 days a week minimum, I'm here, right, in the office. So I drive a lot. And I was driving a 2006 diesel F-250. Probably the worst thing that you could possibly commute in as far as gas is concerned. And maintenance. Had 300,000 odd miles on it. Right. And I thought the idea of an electric car, there is no comparison to a gas or ICE, I guess they call it, an internal combustion engine car. The motors require little to no maintenance and often have a failure rate of like 1 billion to 1 or something ridiculous, right? The electric motors. There's an internal like gear oils and stuff like that, but there is no changing of oil. So you don't go 5,000 miles and change your oil. I think the Tesla, and then I'm going to get called on this because I'm probably wrong, but the Tesla manual says something about changing the oil in the motors in an interval of like 150,000 miles or something ridiculous. It's like way out there, right? So basically years before you ever have to do anything. So the whole drivetrain of the car should theoretically be 100 times more reliable than any gas vehicle out there. Like that's just a fact. That's not. I don't. You hear those debates online? Nah, that's dumb. That's a fact. That's why when you go to our industrial plants, they have electric motors running in the plant to pump fluids. They don't have gas-powered motors, and those motors run till failure. Right? They just run them all the time until they fail. And they'll last years. They'll run for years without ever even shutting them off, all the way until the bearings give out. Right? Like that's what they do. So theoretically, an electric car should be more reliable. And I drive a lot.
Okay.
So I wanted to put that to the test.
That's good. Now, here's my question.
Now, what I wasn't expecting is the technology. So
I know.
I actually wasn't. I bought it to put the reliability to the test, not for the full self-drive technology. That's not why I bought it.
That's great. I have a question.
Oh my gosh!
If you had to choose between an ICE vehicle with full self-drive or an electric vehicle without, those are your only two options. Which are you choosing? Full self-drive in a Ford F-250 or EV just because you less maintenance and you want to save the trees. So which
F-250?
Yeah, with full self-drive.
Yeah. So
because what happened was you bought it for that great story about bearings and bullshit, and then you decided that what you liked the most out of the whole thing was the full self-drive. Correct?
100% accurate. So I bought it for the reliability. I wanted to make that a point, though. I bought it because of the theoretical, like, maintenance and reliability, right? Like, I did my calculations, my maintenance on that car, 5,000-mile oil changes, changing your diff fluids, changing your trans fluids, right? Then you got power steering fluids, you got freaking coolant, all that jazz. You got fuel filters, right? Then you got fuel on top of it, just buying your fuel. You don't have any of that in an electric car. None. So that's why I bought it. What I was not expecting, like at all, was the technology behind Tesla's full self-drive. Now, a little bit of me did want to try that out. I got to be honest when I bought it. Because I looked at Rivian, because they have something similar, right? I forget what theirs is called now. Rivian Cruise, whatever. I don't know what it's called. They have something similar though. They just did a big like freaking conference on it and a display to say it's going to be the best thing on the planet because they got LiDAR. Sure.
I know. And Elon
Uh,
says that's not going to be as good because his cameras are better. Because
Yeah.
LiDAR takes a full, it's got to hit the object and come back. And he says, well, I just have to see it. Right?
Yeah,
I think so.
We can have a whole conversation on that.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm not qualified.
I looked
but
into the LiDAR
Okay.
stuff and
Make sure you're talking to the mic, too.
I looked into the LiDAR stuff. I tend to agree. Not an expert, but I tend to agree with Elon there. But anyway, I looked at Rivian. I look at Lucid, right? Some of those other ones, I got that. And then I was like, you know what? He talks a big game as far as the full self-drive is concerned. I'm going to give it a shot. And he's been around the longest, right? So and the Model Y is like the best-selling electric car, right? So I went with straight up generic, got a Model Y. We're going to test it. And I got in that stupid thing, and then full self-drive is just like, it's like a robot,
Right.
man.
So your
It's
value
like-
proposition,
Yeah.
the FSD just jumped to the top, right?
Jump right up to the top. Like, it's not even a question. I had to trade my car last week. I traded my car to let my dad like experience it. So I gave him my Tesla, my Model Y for a week. And I took his Ford Expedition that I had to drive. And that's for the birds. Like, I was like, what is this? I have to actually do stuff? Like, this is nonsense. Yeah, for the birds. My stress level has dropped. I like to drive. I drive 30,000 plus miles a year. My stress level has gone way down. And driving is actually much more enjoyable because I only have to do it when I actually want to.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like if I want to take over and whip around a curve or something like that and experience the G-force and actual drive, I can. But if I'm just commuting to work through rush hour traffic, no, I don't have to do that. I can opt out.
So when you're on these road trips and you got to make these stops every 2 hours, it's about what, 15 minutes?
On
15,
average,
20
it's
minutes?
about 15 minutes to get it back up,
Okay.
to get to the next stop. Another 2 hours of driving. So, just so our viewership and our listeners are aware, that's what we're going to be talking about, in this new platform. So every week we're going to be putting out a new podcast for you guys to listen to. We're going to be talking about relevant topics like Tesla full self-drive. We're going to be talking about relevant topics in our industry, like the conferences that we're going to, the technologies that we're seeing, and what's going on. So we have some exciting stuff that will be coming up. We'll be talking with leaders in the EPC space, like how they're doing projects of the future and what they think those projects are going to look like. We're going to talk about leaders in the owner-operator space and how they think the operations of the future is going to look like and what they think that's going to be, especially with all this AI and digital twin stuff. And then we're going to talk about just random stuff, like where we think the world is going with technology. In the loop. So thanks for listening. Hope you'll join us on our journey. Done.
I'm not doing the wave.
Yeah, do the wave. You did it backwards. It's left to right, not right to left, isn't it? Like out.
There we go.
Out.
I'm out.